Lauren, Jesse, I can tell you it was not an accident. It was just a matter of time. The line here out here on 3rd Street is old, very old. But as you can see behind me, the line has been repaired, but the bull water advisory is still in effect. Now, the biggest challenge wasn't finding a cedar, because they are very common in the area. It was just finding one that looked nice enough to be on display in front of City Hall. Molly, Jamie, we're here where the event is going to take place in about an hour, but right now we're waiting for a press conference with Johnson to begin in just a few minutes. Now, this rally in Atlanta is one of several stops Johnson is making in a last-ditch effort to gain support with libertarians across the country. The whole process takes only about 10 minutes. You first fill out this form, then you take this swab and rub your cheek, and then you're good to go. Mackenzie, as you can see behind me, the water level is back up to normal, a lot different than it was back in November when the drought was at its worst. That's due in part by the recent increase of rain that has raised the level, but regardless of the rain that we've gotten, we're still in a drought. If a runoff does occur, it wouldn't be the first time that Buckley has had an effect. The same thing happened in the 2008 race between Chambliss and Martin. Hunters and trappers can trap and kill as many coyotes as they would like, but for the challenge, they're only allowed to submit 5 coyotes per month. Just this simple gift of water with an encouraging note is how this organization is spreading the love to the people of Athens. Green grass, something that is often overlooked. But after the dry weather Georgia has had this past summer and fall, to farmers, green grass is a huge relief. Especially for farmers like Terry Stevenson, who owns this farm in Madison County. Someone that knows all too well about how bad this past year's drought was for him and his farm.
It's just been a bad year, terrible year.
Stevenson is a cattle farmer. Every year he relies on the grass to keep his cows sustained during the summer. He also feeds the cows hay during the winter. He usually sells a lot of hay, but this year, with the drought killing the grass, he had to keep more than usual.
Most of the hay that I sell is horse hay, but it's rows, and so I set pretty decent premium on it. And instead of selling that hay, I'm feeding that hay.
The drought hit him so hard, he even had to make some drastic decisions, selling some of his own herd.
I turned around and sold some cows to kind of cull back, and then there's a mixing wagon out there. I bought an old used mixing wagon and started mixing some blended feeds so I would have enough hay.
Drought conditions have since improved, but according to the U.S. Drought Monitor, here in the Northeast Georgia area, we are still experiencing severe drought conditions.
We know we're not out of the woods there completely yet, but things have improved, and I think over the course of the next couple of months we'll continue to see improvements.
While some are optimistic about this upcoming season, others, like Sarah, manager of B&G Seed Company, a company that harvests crops and mixes them into feed for sale, are not.
I'm not looking forward to this spring. I'm not looking forward to this combine season.
For farmers like Terry, the forecast is not looking too promising, but so far this year the rain in the area is more than double what it was this time last year. Reporting in Athens for Greater News Source, I'm John Holcomb. It may seem like your typical school competition, but the SEC swab off is more than that, especially for some like Yusha Kyla, whose little sister had cancer.
What she needed was a bone marrow transplant to, essentially save her life. And we went through the Be the Match registry, and we were able to find a perfect match.
That's why Kyla is the vice president of Be the Match at UGA. She and others volunteer to help those who could die without a bone marrow transplant.
I think there's no better service that can be done to people than to help them find a cure.
The whole process takes only about 10 minutes. You first fill out this form, then you take this swab and rub your cheek, and then you're good to go. Be the Match UGA would ultimately like to get more than 200 new donors registered because the competition is with all other SEC colleges, and the Dogs here want to beat the Gators just as badly in this battle as the one coming up this weekend. In fact, maybe more important, since Kyla and her team did indeed beat the Gators last year, the football team, maybe not so much. John Holcomb, Greater News Source. Haley Beach is her name, and signing is her game. The second-year communication science and disorders major has a passion for signing and a heart to reach out to people that are deaf. That's why she created an all-sign language video.
I think it's important to remember that deaf people, they can enjoy the same things that hearing people can. Just because they can't hear the video, it doesn't mean that they can't enjoy the music video.
Luke Bundrum is a first-year student who is currently in Haley's small group this year and one of the stars in the video. He says Haley's groups had a huge impact on him.
No sign language. I can communicate, have fun, socialize. So it's been a great thing for me. I'm thankful that God had given me, Haley and a group.
Majoring in communication sciences and disorders is still not enough. Beach assists with the interpretation at an organization on campus, Baptist Collegiate Ministries. That is also where she has started an American Sign Language small group to help make those with hearing disorders more welcome. BCM campus minister Nathan Bird talks about Haley's efforts in the organization.
I think Haley is starting to realize the opportunity that she has to minister both to those who are interested in ASL and those who need ASL to be able to communicate.
Haley hopes that the hearing world will become more deaf-friendly and that we will be more aware of our circumstances. Reporting in Athens for Greater News Source, I'm John Holcomb.